Hello geeks and welcome to Train Sim World 2. Did I say this correctly? TSW 2, Train Sim World 2, yes. So we're jumping in a train simulator in this video, and we are here in London, and we're about to jump in Bakerloo line and in the 1972 Mark II tube stock and drive the full length of this route. Just for your eyes and your eyes only. So if you're like new to this channel though, before we jump into this train and you're wondering who am I, like I'm Everyday Normal Geek, aka 𝗃𝗵𝗶𝗃𝗲, and in this channel I'm trying to bring everything about realism in gaming, where I'm promoting that video games is a form of art, not only by those who make them, but by also those who play them. So here you will find a lot of content made by Video Games Geek for Video Games Geek. We are like inclusive and welcoming to everyone who wants to be part of our family and share our the same passion with us. So like join and subscribe right now, and in the end of this video, if you liked and enjoyed this video, please smash the like button as well. So that's all for the introduction, and let's jump into train simming for today. So like we're here in London, we're like in a cloudy morning, winter cloudy morning, 2 degrees outside. By the way, where I live right now it's -20, but nevertheless we cannot do -20 in this game to represent this, but like we can go to like 2 degrees in a winter clear morning, so we can continue on and find like a service. So Bakerloo line, 25 stations, about like 23 miles long. It will take around like 45 to 50 minutes to do the full length. And we're going to take the 833 stock. I just pressed and we're just loading in from like Harrow and Wellstone all the way down to, this is from like suburban northwest, from London all the way southeast to Elephant and Castle, South London, and we will pass through West End. So like so here we are in Harrow and Wellstone, like our final destination, Elephant and Castle. We're driving this full length and we are ready to hit begin. 8:33 is the time that we are starting, and we have to run up very fast because I want to go in the back of this train. Oh my god, the train is full. Okay, the cab is full. There are people left over from previous night just staying here, you know, commuters. They forgot to get out after the final announcement, which says, you know, like, this is the final stop. Please, everybody disembark from the train now. Well, all these people didn't listen to this announcement, or they just wanted to rebel. So we're going to the back. This is a very old, like, rolling stock that is servicing probably the oldest rolling stock in the fleet of the London Underground. At least that's what I'm reading as a trivia. What I found online, and it's a bit manual train, so I had to go to run back and set up the like the sign on the back of the train for Elephant and Castle. Now we have a few seconds and we have to start rolling in towards the station. Let me close this door as well. Now we have to start up our train. So we go here, we close this door. Now we have to set up the key here. I will just very fast try to start it, switch on, then we set the direction selector key in, we sit in, then this goes to enter. Is it an enter? Yes. Then the deadman's handle goes to off and release. We close the warning valve. We put this baby on forward. We open the like instrument lights and we're ready to rock and roll. Boom. I had to do this very fast because we're already about 30 seconds. Half a minute late to our schedule. It's when you start like a full service like that, and you know you start it from the menu, it's very close usually, so it's not very, you see I forgot this also as well, it's not very easy to be on time if you want to put it, let's say, realistic. Also it's a cold afternoon, so temperature, let's go to medium. The fan speed is to medium. Let's open also the lights in the cabin and the heat as well. Let's check outside. Yes, the lights are open. And now you see here, yep. And now we're just gonna stop around here. Beautiful morning sunrise. In this cold morning, we're just gonna deliver commuters all the way from the northwest suburbs of London onto the heart of South London for their jobs. A really early morning service in the London Underground. Okay, we're ready to close the doors and ready to hit the road. Alright, so let's go. Accelerating. Alright, here we lost a bit the traction and also the third line power. So a bit about this game, Train Sim World 2. It was released on the 20th of August 2020, so it's about half a year old game, fairly new. Dovetail Games is the studio that developed and released this game. Currently it sits at €29.99, €30 on Steam for the base games, and of course plus on what DLCs you will choose to pick. The base games comes with 3 routes. A Bakerloo line, what we're here right now, is one of those 3 routes. It is a successor to Train Sim World 2020, and it's a separate franchise from the train simulator franchise of like Dovetail games. So like Train Sim World 2 is a different franchise, a different simulator from Train Simulator 2021. Same studio, same genre, same philosophy, same thing, but different, because like the Train Simulator 2021 is based on an old graphics engine from Rail Simulator. And Train Sim World 2 is based on the Unreal Engine 4. So that's why we get this more impressive graphics over here. Even though I selected snow and I don't see any snow around right now. But yeah, more impressive graphics. Better performance, I would say, as well, from the older engine. Plus, one major like noticeable difference in gameplay. This game is like in first-person mode. Instead of being in a, let's say, sentient flying camera, as you are in Train Simulator. Okay, so here we'll slam the brakes a bit to stop, and we are in Canton, first stop for today. Let's open the doors. Beautiful, the passengers are coming out. They're stacking a bit here, has some bugs here and there still. Let's check that our like sign is all right. Yes, it says Elephant and Castle. In the back probably as well. It says Elephant and Castle. Okay, we have to lock the door because time is passing. It's a very tight schedule in London Metro, so we have to hurry. Next station, South Kenton. We have to be there 8:38, 28. We will be a bit late, but I hope we'll manage to make up. Usually it's hard to make up in this tight schedule. We will be a bit behind, but doesn't matter so much. So that's all about the game. Fairly new game. Probably maybe you have seen other videos, maybe not. So it's very nice. Probably the most realistic, most accurate simulator you can take. So like right now, we're in Bakerloo line, the 1972 Mark II stock. Very accurate representation, as you see. Very like a lot of buttons pressable, let's say, inside, and active and like simulated, and very nice representation, very nice sounds, very nice graphics, as you see. Beautiful game. So a bit more about the Bakerloo line and where we're now. Like as I told you, it's a metro line, part of the London Metro Underground. We started at Harrow and Wellstone. It's the northwest end, and we're going to Elephant and Castle in South London, and we're passing via West End. It has 25 stations full length. We're running all the 25 stations today in this video, and 15 are overground, sorry, 15 are below ground, underground, and 10 are like overground. Okay, we have to start like braking action, please. Thank you. One thing about this Mark II stock is that it's very easy to brake, very easy to bring it to a stop. Not so easy to make it accelerate on uphill, though, and so not so easy to catch up with the schedule if you fall behind. Yes, so yeah, so that's about Bakerloo, and it's named Bakerloo because it has like 2 stops along. One is called Baker Street, the famous Sherlock Holmes street where the house of Sherlock Holmes is located, and also Waterloo. So Bakerloo and Waterloo, Bakerloo. It's probably one of the oldest, as I read in the network. It's opened somewhere between 1906 and 1915. And at least in Wikipedia, they say that it's the 9th busiest line on the network and it's carrying over 111 million passengers annually. So quite a busy line, but it's, of course, makes sense. I've never been to London. But I don't know, from this line and from the surroundings and how it's recreated, this like line from Dovetails, I would get a British feeling, you know. I get this British feeling, you know. This mood in the weather and the buildings around. Alright, we're at North Wembley. Let's put on some braking action. Okay, now it's going too fast. Let's release it a bit. Going here. We're a bit late, but we're tight on schedule right now. Okay, screeching. So let's open the doors. One thing that I find strange, one of my first experiences and I find very strange, is that there is no button mapping for opening doors. I mean, I think probably that's I would expect from a simulator, you know, train simulator, to have a button mapping for opening doors. And I believe that the train simulator franchise has a button mapping for opening doors. Somehow here, you have to find it and click it. And that's true in every train. Yeah, so as I told you, base game comes with like 3 routes. This is one of them. If you want to expand it, you have to take more DLCs. There is a nice bundle that I actually bought with this game that has like it gives you another extra 3 routes. Probably we're gonna visit all of them. The latest I think they released was recently, not remember exactly the date, but it was like the French TGV route, one of the routes in TGV, and I've seen very good like reviews about it, and I would like to review it as well to see it with you. But of course, that's the very first initial, let's say, view in the game, in the simulator. Alright, this overground part is quite easy to handle. That's why I'm talking a lot now. Because it has like a very easy speed limit. So once we go underground, which this starts after Queen's Park Station. So when Queen's Park is the last overground station. Then I will focus a bit more. I will require to focus a bit more. Right, so we're in Wembley Central now. A bit behind schedule, 2 minutes behind schedule. We'll try to keep this delay stable. Open doors. Alright. Okay, close the doors. And we're ready to go. Next station, Stonebridge Park. Bit behind, as I told you, but we're doing our best to keep up. As you see, this train full speed at parallel setting here, and that's all we can do. And on and downhill, and that's all the acceleration we can take. Soon the speed limit drops to 40. So we have to be 40 miles per hour, so we have to be aware of that. Now a few info about that I found about this like 1972 tube stock. Okay, now we're at 40 and we have to maintain here. It's a bit downhill, so we have to brake. Braking action here a bit. It's easy to brake, but it's also a bit rough on the brakes when you try to maintain your speed, you know, so it's kinda interesting. Now we're gonna speed up because I know there is an uphill from here. If that follows this downhill, I want to maintain my speed and my energy. It's very important in this tube because it doesn't accelerate very easily. To maintain, be able to maintain the momentum and the energy of the train. Because if you lose it, it's not very easy to regain, especially when you are in uphills. So 1972 stock, as the name implies, it was introduced in 1972. Pretty easy. And it's right now, I think, the oldest stock on the network. I think there are some plans to replace them in the upcoming years. Okay, let's stop. All right. Almost. Let's see. We're, yes, almost in the platform. And here, okay, we're all in. They say that initially it was ordered to make up the shortfall in trains in the northern lines. 1959 tube stock fleet. And there is a whole story how it ended up in Bakerloo, which is not so relevant. But yeah, now it's like the 1972 stock is only in Bakerloo line. And very interesting train. You see here? Oh, we missed it. So it is powered by third rail DC. And what happens usually sometime after in some stations or in some parts of the line, this third rail will not connect exactly with the train. So you see we're losing this power because the train loses power for some moments and then gets it back. And if we manage to catch it from the outside, you will see that the lights here in the cabin, they're flickering. And actually, from comments I was reading online, a lot of people who played, who took a ride in this line in Train Sim World 2, they report that actually this is what's happening in reality as well. The lights are flickering a lot. Very beautiful sunrise here. You see again the colors are super nice in the game and the lighting is amazing. The shadows and the colors around. I would say it's a very, very nice London-y feeling. I would expect this, even though I've never been in London. Never visited. Okay, let's maintain speed as we're approaching the platform. Let's break up a bit. My only, let's say, I have actually not only one, but two, not complaints, but more like small disappointments in this game. Okay, we're in Harlesden, by the way, now. Harlesden, next station here, boom. So the one disappointment is that, as you see, we're supposed to take the 8:33 service, which is full service from one end to the line to the other. We are in a tight schedule. We should be in a rush hour right now. It's a morning rush hour, taking the commuters all the way to their jobs and stuff from the suburbs. But you see that the line is fairly dead, and that's because you don't see many other AI trains, and that's because the current logic, the current AI, let's say, that handles the AI traffic in this line cannot handle more than 9 trains in the entire line at the same time. So the peak traffic in this line in game is 9 trains, when in reality the peak traffic on this line is something like 20 trains per hour. They say that they have currently 200 services that you can pick from, and that they are operating. AI as well operates those services. Okay, let's brake because I see that the speed limit is dropping now here. It will become 30 soon. So they have more than 200 services currently that you can pick off from early morning till late in the night. They say they are planning to increase this at least they say it's in their roadmap. I don't know with what priority, but they say it's in their roadmap to increase those services to 400. So from 9 trains at the same time to go to maybe something like at least 18. Right, here we are in Villain's Den. Let's open the doors on the right side. Yeah, so to go from all the way from 200 to 400, but still nothing, no news about it, which will bring much more life to this line, which on peak hours at least, you know, you should be able to see much more trains running around. Beautiful though. Next station, Kensal Green. We have a 30 miles per hour limit right now, and it will go to 45, but probably after Kensal Green. I'm not going to the left, so we're maintaining here the 30. Yeah, you missed it. It would flicker the lights here now also when this power is off, it flickers the lights. In terms of performance, it's like performing really well in my system. Not a lot of like I have fairly high graphics, and it can maintain 60 FPS like fairly easily. It has some micro stutters here and there, but other than that, it's very good. Also, I like a lot the interface that they have around with the like signals, with the speed. At least if you're a beginner in a line, they have like in each line, in each DLC, they have like some very nice tutorials and some scenarios that are actually, you know, they're built in a very nice way to make you, okay, now we're going to 45 miles, but we're waiting for the entirety of the train to pass through, but let's start speeding up. So they have very nice tutorials and scenarios where you can get very familiar with the line. And of course you can play some services in each line and take some schedule. The nice thing about Train Sim World is that they have this AI schedule. So like you get into the train. So for example, I'm right now riding this train, and if I press here escape and check the map, you will see that there are other trains around me. Not so many as I told you, not so much traffic as we would expect to see. You see there are some trains here like which are like just parked right now, but here is my train. And here's another train coming that we will see it soon, you know. And if we check up front, you know, forward, there's another train coming. And if we check even more, there is probably one train further, you know, in front of me as well, going south. So it's very nice that they have this like simulation of the schedule. So you jump in and you go into the schedule. And in that way you can learn the line. So, you know, you can run as many services, and, you know, we will go to the end and we can go in free roam, turn this train around and start the next service that this train will take. So you can, let's say, run a full 8-hour shift if you want it. So you can learn this line, and like you can progressively get rid of the UI. So you have the opportunity to get rid of, like, let's say, all the indications that are on the right side, or like signals, for like speed limits. You can just be checking the line is created very accurately in terms of like signaling and you know, so you can like signaling, and also in signs as well. So like you can very easily follow it if you're familiar with it and you're familiar with the line. So you can just go hard mode, you know, and just remove all the UI and just go with what you see in front of you. Of course, I'm not so familiar with the line. I've run a few, I've made all the training scenarios, all the training and the scenarios, and run a few services, full services. But of course, still I'm not that familiar to be able to run this without the UI. And you will see as we're going underground. Here we are in Queen's Park now. So this is the last overground station. So now that you'll see that we'll jump underground, the speed limits are quite erratic, you know. Alright, we should have been in Queen's Park 8:53:21, it's 8:54. Let's start slowing down also because there is a 15 speed limit that is coming up on us. Alright. 16, we'll just let it roll out to 15 by itself. Oh, here is another train. This is on the schedule as well, same like us. A15. Nice, beautiful. You see? And it goes Harrow and Wilstone. It's very nice. I like, for example, it has some like very nice immersive details. For example, every train that is running on the line, it has its own unique, like, let's say, serial number, so how it will be in reality. So it kind of gives you this uniqueness that, for example, now I have this train, you know, it's kind of unique. So if I run a different service in a different time, I might take a different train as well. These small details that they give you the immersion. Alright, here we are in Queen's Park. We're going pretty slow, so we're going to delay our braking. A lot of people waiting for us here in Queen's Park. Alrighty, come on. We have to stop here by these signs and not by the marks that are marked here, because sometimes they're misaligned. I actually forgot to turn them off. There is an option to turn these markings off. Just forgot to do it, because sometimes they're misaligned in this line at least. I don't know about other lines. Alright, Queen's Park, and now get ready because we're going underground. I think here we can see that the DC line will disconnect somewhere. If we can check here, no, it doesn't disconnect. To see the light flickering, you know. Okay, it doesn't disconnect now. Oh, there it is, you see? And the lights opened again. I don't know if you missed it or you saw it, but it just flickered. Like the lights went off, the lights went on as it went back to DC again. Very nice little detail. What I miss, the second thing that I miss from this, okay, I'm jumping all over, classic me. So one thing that I miss, all right, let's see here, we are 15. Right, we're good. Okay, I think now we're on 30 something, so let's go. So one thing that I miss is this liveliness, okay? The other thing that I miss is... the announcements. The sounds, which the announcements are part of it, but here's the first underground station, Kilburn Park. But the sounds, I'm sorry again, the announcements in the train. So in a tube train like this, you would expect that there will be announcements every time before, you know, before a station, after a station, we can hear another service coming from the other side of the platform. That's very nice. So yeah, so you would expect announcements and stuff, but unfortunately they don't have simulated announcements. I don't know if it's even if it's in the roadmap. They say that they have difficulty on how the current logic is in the trains and how the game detects in which service you run. So they might not have no announcement at all even in the future, which is a pity because it's the only thing that misses from this line to put you fully immersed into it. Next station is Maida Veil. So we already have done 11 out of 25 stations. So we're getting there. Okay, let's let it go because we're right in the limit right now. Let's start braking. I love those stations that you're you know, I like that in the underground you will see more and more. The stations are bunked, you know, they have this bunk right, left to right. And the overground stations are mainly straight. So I like this thing. And also I like that the underground stations, they seem very close to, from what I saw in pictures, they seem very close to what the real stations look like. That's very nice as well. And now if you're like confused, what is Train Sim World 2020? What is Train Sim World 2 that we're playing now? What is Train Simulator 2021 and which one you should buy? So there are like a few differences. They're from the same gaming studio. Train Simulator 2021 is something, let's say, more like of a classic train sim. So let's say that you have this sentient camera that you're flying around the trains. You cannot be in first person mode. It has right now, because it's for quite a lot of years, this franchise, it has like a lot of routes that you can pick from and a lot of trains that you can pick from, and also you can mix and match. So for example, you can take a German train, put it on a Swiss route, you know, and make your own schedule. Train Sim World is more, let's say, strict. It has like routes, not so many in the base game and in DLCs, not so many still. But it has quite a lot of routes, but you cannot mix and match. So like the trains are tied to the routes for now. So you cannot mix and match. You cannot take the London Underground and put it on a German route. And vice versa. Plus that it has this preset schedule that kinda reflects the real schedule, and you can pick services from there. Plus, it has better graphics because it is based on a newer engine, and also like it has a first-person view, the first-person mode. Plus, the physics are also better in this new engine, because you can see that now that I'm sitting here, that by the movements of my head, you can feel the inertia when we're braking, when we're like speeding. So you can feel the train just without even looking at the speed, just by seeing the camera movement. I can understand if the train is like speeding or like decelerating, you know, like accelerating or decelerating. It's very nice actually, and it's part of, like, let's say, Unreal Engine's like capabilities. And also, I would say as an extra that Train Simulator, because it's a franchise that runs for something like 7 years, maybe even more, it has a lot of DLCs and a lot of add-ons. So if you're a player that likes to modify the simulation a lot, you know, if you enjoy this part, then you go for Train Simulator, because there is a lot of freeware and payware in general. The community, you know, is very active in creating mods for this simulator. In opposite to the Train Sim World 2, which is fairly new, not a lot of DLCs yet, not a lot of community add-ons yet. Wow, I love this sound. I love the screeching of the wheels. And we're in Paddington. All right. Stop here. There are though like some announcements in the stations. You cannot hear it now, probably it finished. I wanted to go out to check the announcement, but there are some announcements in the stations, but unfortunately there are no cab announcements. Let's hope that Dovetails will bring this like line, the Bakerloo, like up to its standards, you know, like more live, even more services, and with proper announcements. So here you see now we're changing again the speed limits. We're going to 20. So we have to maintain 20 here. Next station is Edgeware Road. Okay, and let's maintain the 20 here. We are about 2 minutes behind schedule, but at least we have managed to keep this delay like steady. Being like an underground, you know, the schedule, the services, even now that they're just like 20 services, sorry, 200 services, the schedule is very tight. I guess it reflects the real schedule, even though there are not so many services around. The schedule is very tight, And if you fall behind, you cannot keep up. I mean, you cannot catch up. You can keep up. So if you have like, let's say 1 minute delay, you can keep up to your delay if you're careful. But you cannot catch up. It's very hard to catch up in this line and with this stock, which is very hard to accelerate as well. Alright, let's stop it here. Very nice. Open the doors. When we're underground, unfortunately, we can just go here. We can just press this window. This button here, you can just check in the bug. And unfortunately, this works only when you're underground. If you're overground and you press this button key like 3. When you're outside, it gets a different view, but when you're inside, I mean underground, it can get it like, and you can get this realistic like a view from the window here even. You can check, but okay, that's not realistic, of course. Right, next station is Marylebone. Alright, so let's break a bit here to maintain 25. I see Marylebone, the lights in the distance. Over there, very nice. Lights of the station. And the darkness here in the cab now that we are underground. Very, very nice lighting. And you can hear the other service passing by, northbound, from the other line. So very nice steady braking. There we are. So what you do normally, you would put the interlock here out, you would press down the window, you would press 3, you would check if everyone is inside. Then you would press this button here, you raise up the window, put the interlock in, and we're ready to roll. Next station is Baker Street, the famous like Sherlock Holmes road. Is it like Baker Street 202A or 220A? 220A? His house? I'm not really sure about it. Write me in the comments if you know exactly Sherlock Holmes' house address. Would love to send some mails. Not really, but just out of curiosity. Yeah. So yeah, we're 2 minutes behind schedule. Fairly steady for now. We will not be able to keep up, but if we're like just 2 minutes behind, it will be fine. So here we are, Baker Street. Let's say hello to Sherlock. Alright, some heavy braking here because I was a bit late. There we are. Another thing is that this like first person like mode allowed the developers to add some extra stuff, so they have some collectibles. So for example, here there are some screens you can stand in front and like, let's say, fix it for every like for every DLC, for every route. These like collectibles vary from like fixing screens to like filling newspaper stands to opening ticket machines. But they're kind of repetitive and boring, so what you have to do is just stand in front of the area where the collectible is and it just automatically completes. The nice step forward, let's say, and something different in a train simulator. I mean, to do something extra besides just driving and trains strictly, you know, go around, check the stations, blah blah blah. But quite repetitive for now. This has like a lot of room for improvement. It could be really something different. To have like mini games that can make it more interesting, more like an adventure. Nevertheless, it's a very impressive train simulator. Till now I had no complaints on the performance of it. And I really enjoy it. Especially Bakerloo line. Okay, we're the Regent's Park. Regent's Park or Regent's Park. I don't know how you pronounce this. Alright, let's break down. Where We're a bit in a hurry, alright. Late minute parking. But that's how we roll. Okay, let's open the window and let's check. Can we check from here? No, we cannot. Right. Let's go. We're rolling. Next station, Oxford Circus. Limit here is 30. Before Oxford Circus is about to drop to 25, so we have to keep aware. At least here the line is flat for now. But let's go all the way up to 30 and we will decelerate when it's time. Because anyway we're back in the schedule, so we have to catch up fast. Okay, we're 30. One thing that I've noticed in this particular line is in general the speed limits. First of all, they're in miles. And the distance is in yards. It would be like imperial units. But what I noticed is that in general the speed limit seems to be way lower than the capabilities of the track. So, you know, even if you go, let's say, 4 or 5 miles, which is quite significant above the speed limit, on a turn, let's say, or on a intersection of rails, they don't seem, they seem quite hard to derail, those trains. Seem quite hard to derail, so in general I adhere by the speed limits, of course, but in general, you know, if you ride this on yourself, don't be so afraid if you miss, let's say, one speed limit, as I did this before. I was 25 and suddenly came 20. First of all, very easy to decelerate, as you see here. And second of all, speed limits are well below the capabilities of the line and the stalk. Alright, loading in passengers. Come on, come on. Alright, let's close these babies. And we're ready to go. Next one, Piccadilly Circus. We're already running for quite some time. Probably we're about like a bit below 40 minutes on the track, maybe 40. Now we're like downhill, so we have to manage the speed on the downhill side. Unfortunately, the brakes are like very harsh, so like first like level of brakes, it just goes like boom. You have to just put brake, release when you're downhill. That's how to manage speed. Let's see, they're not precision brakes. And soon it goes to 30. But probably it will drop after. I think, if I remember correctly, in Piccadilly it drops quite significantly. Ah no, it says 25. Righty. Piccadilly Circus, I think, is also one of the biggest stations. And if I'm correct, is this Waterloo actually station? Maybe it is. Not sure. Oh. Okay, we're a bit above the limit here, but now we're back in the limit. I like that they have the announcement boards, which says when the next train is coming. And also, they're very accurate. They say when it's coming. They also display this incoming train. To the station. Let me allow me to go and collect this collectible here, because I think I can pass through now. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you see, you just go in front and just collect this. But if you stop too far in the front, then you cannot go there. You have to like remember where the collectibles are and stop appropriately. All right, so let's lock the doors and let's go. Next station, Charing Cross, and we're coming there. We're close to the end. Right now we're like, I guess I would say under central London. Probably we're passing the river, Thames River. That's why we're going. Now we're downhill. Tunnels are going even deeper. Okay, not paying attention to the signals now, actually. But you see the speed limits change every few yards here. Same with the elevation, with the like incline or decline of the line. Alright, here we are. Open the right doors. 2 minutes behind schedule. So we're quite stable. Another service and another platform. Going northbound. Okay, let's close the doors. And next station, Embankment. We shouldn't be far from Elephant and Castle, but Embankment is very close. You see, it's right there. We can see the lights. Here the limit is 20. So we got to respect that. And after Embankment comes 35 again. Which is good. Yes, a very nice atmosphere in this game. And I love the underground stations as well. I would wish for like announcements in the train to make it even more immersive. I mean, this would complete the whole like audiovisual experience in this line, you know, like the graphics, the sounds and everything would feel more complete. Plus, like, would be nice to see more services. Not because there are not enough to pick from right now, but because it would feel more alive for this line. For example, to have like, you see now we're 9:16 in the morning. It should be rush hour right now in this line. We saw some services passing by on the other side. We can hear some now in the underground, but it doesn't feel so alive. And yeah, Piccadilly Circus is not Waterloo. Waterloo is here. My question was solved. Alright. Right on the limit right now. It goes 25 a bit before Piccadilly, and also now it's an uphill. So we have to manage our energy. Okay, now it goes up to 35, and then in a few years it drops to 25. So we have to keep to 25 anyway, just to be sure. And after Waterloo goes to 30. Alright, so here we are, Waterloo. Big bang in the station as well, a lot of sounds and scratchings. You see that these markings here are not very aligned. With these like signs here with these doors, because you don't want your cabin door, your cab door, like your car door, sorry, to be like after this, because here it's supposed to be like only like how to say, like only staff area. But following this marker, sometimes you can end up like further in the first door of the car. So my advice would be, don't use those markers for now, at least in Waterloo, in Bakerloo line. Next stop is Lambeth North. Okay, here it goes to 30. Oh no, it drops to 25. It's very sneaky. It goes suddenly to 30. Then after a few yards, after a few meters, boom, to 25. So yeah, in the underground you can see the value of the UI, looking at the signals and the speed limits through the UI, because you know, if you're not familiar with this line, it's impossible to know. You have to know this line by heart to be able not to use the UI, but that's a challenge actually. And that's the end game of train simulators, right? To be able to just jump in a train without UI and know this line by heart. Keep in schedule, do zero mistakes, you know, adhere to all the signals, all the limits, and do it without UI. That's the train simulator, at least how I imagine the train simulator end game. Alright, let's lock the doors. Still 2 minutes behind schedule, maybe 1 minute 50 seconds. But now our next station is the last station in this route, Elephant and Castle. We're going all the way up to 25. And soon will become 30, but before Elephant and Castle we'll have to break down to 10 miles per hour. Should become 30, yes, very nice acceleration here. Too much with the change in the speed limit. Oh no, it became 25 again. I'm not sure if now it's correct or no in the game, or something is missing in the UI. I saw 30, but this small red dot down in the speedometer says 25. Okay, I will adhere to the speedometer, so let's now start dropping to 10 as we're approaching Elephant and Castle. Alright. Where is the sign? Well, here's the sign. It says 20 here. Okay, now that was not matching. Not sure if it's a glitch, a bug, or whatever it is, but it doesn't match. But here you see, this is a normal, you know, the southbound platform. But we're changing here because this train, this particular train, will be also. It has the next task. It's tasked with the next service as well. So we're going to the. Sorry, instead of the southbound platform, we're going to the northbound platform. So we're here. 50 minutes. Service, and I love the signs here. You can see it says when the next service is leaving. And what destination it has. Alright. We're here. So let's open our doors. Alright, let's set this baby down. So let's put this to off. The handle to off. Let's turn off instrument lights. Let's put this to off. Let's take it out, the key. Let's wait. Yes, all passengers are out. Let's lock the doors. Close the line, the saloon lights, and the... Okay, now it's okay. It's the UI for the debriefing. The debriefing screen. Okay, we did great. Did I take the gold medal? I'm a gold medalist. It doesn't say here, but it should be. Because I didn't make any mistakes, except that I was 2 minutes late. Behind schedule. So we go return to free roam. We will turn the saloon, the lights and the vents off. And here we will... where are the lights here? Here. We are going to take all the control key, the switch off, and the control key with us. We're closing these lights. We're closing this. Opening this. And actually we should go here and take this to Harrow and Wellstone. This next service goes to Harrow and Wellstone, I think. Close this door, and that was it actually. So we're here in Elephant and Castle. You just did the full thing, and that was beautiful. There is a guy here who forgotten. Can you, sir, please come out? You don't want to come out. You just want to stay here in the dark for the next service, and tons of people here waiting in the dark. All right. So, guys, thank you very much for being here in this train.
At any time, feel free to contact a member of station staff or use a help point.
Okay, station, thank you very much that you interrupted my speech. My outro speech. So, like, thank you for being here. Now, after this interruption from the station, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed, hit smash the like button and subscribe to my channel. And hit the bell button. Take all the latest notifications about my YouTube channel's activity on your homepage. And again, thank you for being here. Hope you enjoyed this. It was Train Sim World 2, Bakerloo line, full service. I was 𝗃𝗶𝗃𝗲, your everyday normal geek. And guys, I will see you next time. Bye.